Hi, you're with India Post Live, India's first online streaming news conversation web TV, where you too can be part of this conversation. I'm Ishan Russell, and to figure out how you can be part of this conversation, well, you just have to go to indiapostlive.com. That's our website. Just log in and post your comments over there. You can even come in via Skype or Google Hangout if you want to talk to our experts or want to talk to the other panelists, or if you want to come in via Twitter and other social media tools. Well, on Twitter, just use hashtag India Post Live or use our Twitter handle at India Post Live, and on Facebook, just go to the India Post Live page and leave a comment over there, and we'll surely get in touch with you. All right, today we're discussing the future of the Aam Aadmi Party, the party that had a lot of promise but drew a blank in Delhi, the party that has made inroads in Punjab, winning 4 seats there, but shy of getting recognized as a national party because it only got 3% vote. So what is in store for the Aam Aadmi Party? They had a lot of aspirations, they had a lot of expectations riding on them, and where does the party from here go? We have with us Venkatesh Ramakrishnan joining us in the studio. He's the associate editor with Frontline, a very popular magazine here in India, and also from across the world we have viewers and participants coming in talking about the Aam Aadmi Party. In fact, Dr. Dharamveer Gandhi is the winning candidate of the Aam Aadmi Party from the stronghold of the Congress stronghold of Patiala, and he beat, in fact, Captain Amrinder Singh's wife over there to win that seat. So he's joining us live via Google Hangout, and we have a host of other people, about 15-20 people coming in. And in case you want to also express your points of view, please do welcome. We most welcome. We welcome you the most over here. All right, but I'll start with Dr. Gandhi. Dr. Gandhi, I mean, Delhi was something that a place where the Aam Aadmi Party was expected to do really well. But in Punjab, you managed to swing 4 seats. You managed to defeat a stalwart politician. How did it happen, and what future plans for the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab?
You see, Punjab was witnessing several anti-incumbency one against the centre, especially against UPA 2, which was full of scams of huge nature, and secondly against Akali rule, which was practically mafia rule. There was drug mafia, there was land mafia, there was transport mafia, there was Reta mafia, there was Bajri mafia, there was land mafia. So all type of mafia rule was there in Punjab. People were fed up with both these mainstream political parties ruling Punjab each after every 5 years, except the last time when Akali Dal came to power for the second time. So, but the people fed up from both these parties. They had no other option earlier. This time, in spite of the fact that Aam Aadmi Party they could not rule more than 49 days in Delhi, and but people did not carry that bad idea with the party. Rather, they took it as a sacrifice of Arvind Kejriwal for not clinging to the chair, for not for not being hungry for the chair, as most of the politicians do. So they saw the same spirit of Aam Aadmi Party in its leadership, and moreover, Punjabis have always a nature had always exhibited a nature of rebellion and taking to new ideas and philosophies and technologies always. May it be Gadri Babas. There were many people who left Indian shores during last century, but it was Gadri Babas from Punjab who hired a ship, landed in Calcutta, died in hundreds, had went to Kala Panis, and many more examples of heroic struggles of Punjabi people can be quoted from the history. They took to these challenges, and maybe it be green revolution when they took to technology at once and
Right,
fed India's bowl of
right,
the rice bowl and the wheat
right.
bowl, and may it be Naxalite movement, may it be Khalistani, even Khalistani movement, and may it be some plantation of new things. For example, Safeda, the eucalyptus, then these new trees, and they took to new technology and new ideas very quickly to take it vehemently forward. And this is in the blood of Punjabi people. And he this time, Aam Aadmi Party, this he just got the idea of Punjabi people, and they and had we focused on Punjab 2 months back, I'm sure we would have won all the 13 seats in Punjab, including that of Bhinda and Amritsar. where Maharaja Patiala and Prakash Singh Badal, daughter-in-law, Srimati Harsimrat Badal won. I am sure we would have won both these seats also, because such was the strong wave in Punjab in favor of AAP that you couldn't imagine how lakhs of youth came on the roads during the election campaign,
All right.
and it was unimaginable.
All right, an unimaginable victory in Punjab. But Venkatesh, to just set it up, what happened? I mean, in Delhi, there was such popular support. Though the Aam Aadmi Party has turned up second in most seats in Delhi, they garnered a percentage of the vote, a substantial percentage of the vote, bettering the Congress. But still, why in Punjab did they manage to win 4 seats, and why not in Delhi, or why not across the country?
Well, I think Dr. Gandhi has put it in perspective. He has talked about a historical perspective from the Ghadar movement to the national freedom struggle to the Kurdistan movement. He says, the Punjabis are an enterprising community, a community which has got a rich historical tradition of struggle and, engaging with new ideas. And so they have taken to this new idea of Aam Aadmi Party because of two factors. One is the corruption of the UPA 2, which is a very important factor that the Punjabis or the Punjab population has, taken very seriously in the last assembly elections. And then post the assembly elections, the kind of Mafia Raj, so-called Mafia Raj according to him, that the Akali Dal BJP government has been running in Punjab. So basically he has put it in context, but looking at the larger picture in India, it's very clear that in spite of the great hopes generated in Delhi, they were not able to win even a single seat. In spite of the kind of resonance that they created in various other parts of the country, including Karnataka, Maharashtra, and various other parts of the country. All this did not ultimately materialize in making electoral gains. Of course, they have got sufficient number of votes, about 1 crore 36 lakh votes the Aam Aadmi Party has gained. It's certainly significant for a party which is hardly just a year old. But then, having said that, my feeling is that that the way it has gone about, the way the Aam Aadmi Party has gone about its electoral strategy as well as its political strategy, there are a lot of course correction and a lot of things to be corrected in that.
All right, so let's talk about the course correction. We can go across to Mr. Bhan Garg, who joins us all the way from Ontario in Canada. Thank you very much for coming in, Mr. Garg. What would you suggest for the Aam Aadmi Party from here on?
Now, first of all, I would convey my congratulations to Dr. Gandhi and Professor Sadhu Singh, Mr. Khalsa and Bhagwant Mann for their glorious victory. It's the first we got 4 MPs for a rookie party. I don't think it's a bad start. Though our expectations were a lot, and I would say our expectations were unnecessarily high. And sometimes when you keep your expectations high and then you don't meet those expectations and people brand it as a failure. Now, about the future of AAP, as the topic is about, I would say, irrespective of the results in India, AAP has a good future because there is always space for a new kinds of politics. It's about honest politics, clean politics, without distributing liquor and money and all that. So when your agenda is totally different from the traditional parties, I would say there is always political space for that.
All right, there is space for that, but many would say at this stage that space is being only used by one person. That the idea of that entire party became about one person and one seat. Maybe perhaps if the AAP had just concentrated on a few seats, I mean, it was a muddled up strategy at the end of the day. You had politicians joining you in Haryana and you did not have, I mean, in Punjab, many are saying that you won because of the fact that there were completely non-political people who contested this election.
Yes, in a way, yes and no, because I would take this political exercise by a new party as a self-evaluate exercise. By fielding 430 some candidates from all the walks of life, like from social people to doctors to lawyers, eminent surgeons, it's like evaluating yourself. Where do you stand? And by not getting any seat, it doesn't mean we can't brand as a failure. Neither we lost in India by not winning any seat, nor, I would say, nor the war is won in Punjab by winning 4 seats, because the war has started. I would say we didn't win a war in Punjab. The war just started now. Now the onus is upon those four who won. If Aam Aadmi Party stands for Swaraj, now we have to see how these four people, these four MPs, implement the real Swaraj model in their constituency and take it forward. So for a rookie party, at least in one state, we have four MPs. How can we brand it as failure? I'm sure our opponents would
All right.
try to brand it as failure, but sorry, I don't concede. It's
All
a
right,
good
you're not
start.
calling it a failure. We have to go across to Mr. Arindamjeet Singh, who joins us from Noida via Skype. Thank you very much for coming in. What would your take be? And has the party, because the murmurs of dissent, discontent that we are hearing from the party within Delhi, especially from MLAs, is that the term Swaraj then only became about what Kejriwal's idea of Swaraj is.
Are you asking me? Actually, I would
No,
like
I'm
to
asking Mr. Amrinderjeet Singh, who's coming from Noida. So I'll just ask you to hold on for a minute, Mr. Garg.
All right. Thank you very much. Let me tell you, see, I don't see Aam Aadmi Party as a political party, and it succeeded in Delhi because it brought a kind of political movement where it connected with the people. And the moment it started behaving like a political party, it faltered. Whether it was selecting candidates or whether it was responding to the issues, I think it has faltered on that. But as far as we are talking about the future of the Aam Aadmi Party, it has a lot of it into it, because what I foresee is that it's only Aam Aadmi Party that has begun the transition to democracy in India. Otherwise, it was stuck from last 65 years, nothing was happening. All the political parties that we have, old political parties, they have been just regulating the same exploitative, authoritative regime, appointing and transferring the people and running the system by extorting their own commissions and preparing for the next elections. But when it comes to Aam Aadmi Party, they have given that vision, the ideology of transition to democracy. So there's a lot of hope. And what I already said, it is a process. I don't see Aam Aadmi Party as a party. It's a process. And the process certainly takes its time. And the people, those who have come from Punjab, 4 people, the first 4 parliamentarians, I'm sure they are going to begin the transition to democracy.
All right, so the first 4 parliamentarians have a lot of hope riding on you, Dr. Gandhi. You have a lot of hope riding on you. Let's see what other people from abroad have to say. Sammy Gill joins us from Abbotsford in Canada. Sammy, thank you very much for coming in. You've been observing this, obviously, from the outside. What would your take on the Aam Aadmi Party be? I'm sure you're fond of it, but then is it a real force to stay in India, and does it have a sustainable future?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I would agree with Mr. Bhangar when he said that there was a lot of expectations, and those expectations were not coming up to that level either. But again, what Punjab has done, what Punjab has proved is a benchmark for that. Having said all that, what I want to say is that a lot has to be done in coming future of the party, and the most important thing to have a mature vision. What we have seen through media in Delhi happening with AAP leadership involved in very childish, immature, and totally non-visionary type of output coming over there in front of cameras and medias, and everybody was shocked to see that they were behaving just like teenagers. Sorry to say that. So these type of things not to be repeated in future. And most important thing which I want to put up over here is that our leadership, our people, and everybody has to go to the root level to strengthen the trust and faith of student community, of educated people who wants to have a vision, who wants to believe in them, who had showed their interest and who had showed their trust and faith in them previously. But I think that rejection usually happens and mostly happens when people are broken, the faith of the people was shaken, and that's why we got so much bad numbers over here. And once again, I agree with Mr. Bhangarg over here and Mr. Gandhi also, that Punjabis have once proved that they have courage to do something exceptional. and they proved it. And what I should say is that it was a very good performance for AAP over there. But concluding my whole take on that, I think we have to work a lot on grassroots level with a very strong vision, very strong vision, not to be repeat all those things which has happened in Delhi. And I think with passage of time, as Mr. Bhangarak said, that it is not a failure, it is a start, and parties take a lot of time to establish. And I see a lot of positiveness and a lot of optimism in coming time, definitely.
All right, let's get another voice in because we have a whole host of
No,
panelists.
in fact, I would request Dr. Gandhi to respond to this.
All right.
This is a very important criticism that has come, that that AAP has, while it worked among the grassroots and all that, but it did not show the kind of vision that is expected of it. That it did not show the kind of mature vision that it should have displayed. How do you respond to something like that?
Yeah, AAP has a vision, but the vision is evolving also. It is an idea still. It is evolving vision. Very much within the framework of the present democratic the present democratic. So I think there are two types of people voting up till date. Number one was the educated, enlightened, educated middle class, upper middle class, and then the second was the downtrodden people living in slums. So far as the downtrodden living people in slums are concerned, they are still with AAP in very large number. They are not disheartened, they are not disillusioned with AAP. But at last, when Mr. Arvind Kejriwal sat on Dharna outside Rail Bhavan, when he said that the Jhanki you are going to see on this Rajpath on 26 January are not the real Jhankis of Hindustan, a class of people, the upper class, the so-called constitutionalists, the people who wanted to give him, who wanted Arvind to go some far but not too far to achieve his, to tell his aims. So they got angry. They wanted to work him within certain definite limited framework, but didn't want him to go too far, that to challenge the so-called quote-unquote sanctity of the 26th January. So this type of people. Secondly, there was even during assembly elections in Delhi, there was certain section of youth who said in this election we will vote for Aam Aadmi Party, but during parliament election we will vote for Modi. So even at that point of time, there was certain section of youth who driven by the so-called nationalist slogans and so-called in the name of nation, who stood for the nation and two nations with Modi. So I'm not surprised if some section of people have supported in Delhi, but the base of AAP has not eroded significantly in Delhi.
Right, but that, Dr. Gandhi, then might be a fundamental problem with the AAP, that the revolutionary tactics adopted by it. I mean, you yourself are saying that it's an idea, it's a movement, and that is what perhaps people in Delhi got disillusioned with, and hopefully that does not repeat itself in Punjab. I mean, you're representing an entire Lok Sabha constituency with a lot of expectations riding on you. So just to say that it's an idea or a movement and mistakes will happen along the way. I mean, after all, people are entrusting you with the better welfare of the betterment of their lives. But I know you would want to respond to that, and I would allow you the time. But there are the supporters of the Aam Aadmi Party that I also wanted to bring in.
I just want to say something only, that it was a movement. It is fast evolving into a party. Then process is very much on, and I have my idea on it, that this so-called simplicity, honesty, and transparency, these things will last long, not more than 1 year or so. You will have to come to the ground, how much you are able to deliver and change the lives of the people at the grassroots level. So that's the main thing. So you will have to be more concrete, more livable, and they come with more concrete policies now. In fact,
All right,
the
more concrete
post
policies. Yes, perhaps that is what was missing in this election. Perhaps concrete policies in terms of the AAP's economic idea or the AAP's foreign policy ideas. I mean, that is what a lot of people had questioned. In fact, the Sikh gentleman in the yellow turban, I'm sorry, sir, I do not have your name with me right now, but if you could just introduce yourself because you're nodding your head vigorously to that comment.
Hi, this
Yeah.
is Sant Pratap Singh. I'm joining you guys from Gurgaon.
Yeah.
I'm an HR professional here. So that's my point. I would like to contribute. I would like to contribute in a way that it's just a movement. Aam Aadmi Party is not a party as of now. It is just a movement which has to develop itself to the level of an organization, which is a learning organization.
Then why
Learning
contest
organization
elections?
which displays results. Its effectiveness, because people are the biggest criticism that Arvind Kejriwal has faced is the 49 days of his government. The results they wanted, there should be some visible results. So these four new MPs, they have so much on them, so much of expectations of a very big crowd out there in the country. 1.36 crore is a vote that has been polled for Aam Aadmi Party. It goes for all these four people only. So Mr. Gandhi, Mr. Maan, and if these guys can deliver and remain a hero for the party, and the organization can structure itself, have a proper cadre working for it at the grassroots level, and the vision of corruption-free, effective governance. So if it could be translated to some extent, it would be really very good to see these kind of results. So that's how the Aam Aadmi Party can go into the future. Otherwise, it is in a very nascent stage and it can falter along. There could be some issues. People would fight. People might have some differences and they might part ways. So all these things happens when an organization grows. But Aam Aadmi Party has to plan for it.
All right, I'm sure you understand the organizational politics. You're an HR professional, so you understand what could be happening, and that is where I want to get in Mr. Bhan Garg, who's been vociferously supporting the Aam Aadmi Party on India Post Live for some time now. I want to go across to Mr. Subhash Rabra. Bhan Garg, I'll come back to you, but Mr. Subhash Rabra has been joining us from Faridkot on a pretty regular basis, defending the Aam Aadmi Party. But as it was pointed out over here, why contest 400 plus seats? I mean, the Congress and the BJP also didn't field that many candidates. How serious was the Aam Aadmi Party? Many would question that, and perhaps that is what has resulted in the kind of votes that the Aam Aadmi Party has got. Even a prominent candidate of the Aam Aadmi Party, Dr. Yogendra Yadav from Gurgaon, polled just about 70,000 votes.
Good evening, everybody. Subhash Ravra from Faridkot Plains. What I would like to share from my own experiences during these days were, number one,
I would just request you to turn that off, the website that you have open over there on the laptop.
maybe it is already open. Let me see.
Just close that website, please. Yeah.
Now it's visible.
Yes, it's still visible. Don't worry.
Now, what I personally feel is that during these days, people were simply found.
Mr. Rabra, I'm sorry, we cannot hear you. You'll have to close the website, India Post website that you've opened on your computer right now simultaneously while you're talking to us, because the voice is echoing back. All right?
Or at least mute it. Oh, you can't mute it.
He can't mute it. So just shut that down. We'll come back to you. Let's get in a few other callers. Let's get in, because we have voices coming in. In fact, we have Indarman, who's been waiting rather patiently. Indarman Singh Virdi. He joins us all the way from St. Paul in the United States. Thanks very much, Indar, for coming in. Your take on the Aam Aadmi Party and its future.
Well, thanks for having me. And first of all, I want to congratulate Dr. Gandhi for winning from Patiala. And the question I have is, I remember when on his campaign for Varanasi, then he was asked that why don't
Indar, I'm sorry, I'll just stop you. I'll just request all the callers. Somebody has the India Post Live site open on your computer. Please just shut that down, because that is interfering with the audio output.
I suppose you will have to go back and watch the show later.
Yeah.
can you hear me better?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you have the site open in front of you? The India Post Live site?
I don't. I only have this Google Hangout open.
Okay.
I don't have anything else.
Somebody from the people who have joined in
All right, just hang on. Mr. Rabra, do you have the website open on your computer right now? I would request you to shut all websites right now on your screen.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's all right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, my question is when Mr. Kejriwal was asked on his campaign trail in Varanasi that if you had spent a little more time or effort in Punjab, you might have done better in Punjab than using all your energy for a fight in Varanasi, which was never actually a fight, but it was being projected as a fight. So going forward from here, do we see Aam Aadmi Party trying to change its policies or trying to change its strategy of going into symbolic fights? Because Kejriwal said, okay, this is not a fight to make you MPs. But if you don't have MPs on the ground, if you don't win any seats, then your workers will get disheartened. And so you do need some people, so you need some voices in the parliament to get your point across and to be heard properly than outside the parliament. So will we see Aam Aadmi Party making it effort to change its strategy of trying to go for like big symbolic fights and do more towards getting something more substantial on the ground than making like a media thing?
Yeah, media circus. Dr. Gandhi, respond to that, please.
Dr. Gandhi, Inderman has made a very important point. He has made a very important point. He said that, that if Kejriwal had not wasted time in Varanasi and had spent more time in Punjab, perhaps the number of MPs from Punjab for the Aam Aadmi Party would have been much better. And that, that he just went for a symbolic fight which did not actually merit to anything. What is your response to this?
I partly agree with him that not only that, have we focused on 50, 60, 70 seats, and we had very good candidates like Medha Patekar, Rajmohan Gandhi, and many more, Salim, and all that. Had we focused on almost 100 seats, and our star contenders, have they focused on those 100 seats, again it would have been much more better and much more impressive on all India basis.
Thank you. I think that is a very valid point of self-criticism coming from an elected member of parliament. That is certainly refreshing. I mean, normally you don't get to see
honesty, refreshing honesty over here. Thank you very much, Dr. Gandhi, for being that honest. But let's try to get in, as many people connected with you as possible, trying to understand the Aam Aadmi Party. We have Dr. Manjot Kang joining us from Samrala. Thank you very much for coming in, Dr. Manjot. What would your question or comment be for Dr. Gandhi or for the Aam Aadmi Party? All right. We seem to have lost that connection with Manjot, but there is another caller that's come in. The lady on the second lady, we'll just go back to that's Sheena. All right, we don't seem to have that, her as well. But all right, Bhangar, you're all calling all the way from Canada, and I had asked you a question earlier, but how would you take this criticism, the self-criticism that has come in from Dr. Gandhi about the Aam Aadmi Party and its strategy? Does the Aam Aadmi Party, had the Aam Aadmi Party only become about Arvind Kejriwal at a certain level, that it was only about Kejriwal and Varanasi and not about the rest of the 400 seats, and that is why Punjab was a quiet march?
First of all, I would say I agree to some extent that we do have to introspect, but there is no need to fight or blame anybody over that, because when we fight a bigger war, like fighting 400 some seats in India is not something simple, right? And we have to make some strategies. So there were three possible strategies. One strategy was to take head on, fight against Modi, and if we are able to defeat him, it would be polarization in whole India. It would be boom everywhere. So can you imagine, had Arvind Kejriwal defeated Modi, what would we be talking about today? We would be all talking about in pride that, hey, we defeated Modi. It's not something small. And I agree, that was a risky strategy. And Arvind Kejriwal is a fighter. This is his style of politics. Maybe we have to tame him a little bit, I would say. And,
but I would like to add in here. That Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, along with all these 4 MPs, chosen MPs, these five must stay hero inside the organization, because every organization to grow, they need heroes. Congress has its own heroes in history. BJP has its own heroes. So every political organization, they have some ideals to work, for the cadre to look forward to. I would say if we go ahead with too much of criticism, even inside the organization, that would be like it would work out in a negative way as well. So
Exactly.
criticism has to be there. The organization has to evolve, but it has to be in a positive way, and it should be communicated to the public, to the cadre, in a very careful manner. So that's how I would like to add here.
Exactly. So as I said, there are a few kinds of strategies you can make. One strategy was like just in Delhi, he took with Sheila head on, and he delivered good results, and we were all praising, right? So the second strategy could be, as Dr. Gandhi and the Interman said, like we could plan strategically over 50 seats or 100 seats, but let's just take a little bit further. Had we planned on 50 seats, how many of us agree that we would have picked 4 seats from Punjab, especially I would talk about Fatehgarh Sahib and Faridkot? Do you think we would have picked those seats? But we picked 400 some seats, and Faridkot and Fatehgarh Sahib was 2 of them, and we could win. So it is very difficult to predict the future, predict the result before we actually take the fight. So there were chances of.
The question was about applying the same strategy all over. In Delhi, we had like a strong anti-incumbency after 10 years of Sheila. They were like a strong anti-incumbency, and that's what helped the party gain a foothold. And in Punjab also, we have like 7 years of Akali Dal, BJP anti-incumbency, and then we have 10 years of UPA. So my question is, should Aam Aadmi Party be applying same strategy all over? Or should it be like horses for courses, where you change your strategy based on the new information, based on the ground level input or what's going on, rather than going all out war? And I don't think fielding 430 candidates was, I think it was a exercising futile, and it only made the workers more disheartened. Then they should have gone for something more clinical, maybe 50 seats where they think they can have a good chance, than going for like an all-out war when they don't have the resources. They didn't have a wave going for them, as we had thought so, that there's a big Arvind Kejriwal wave going on, but it happened, it wasn't the case. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but that's not.
But Inderman,
and change strategy according to the like information, according to the elections.
But Inderman, the point is that what the earlier participant was saying was that if we had not decided to contest these many seats, if we had decided to bring the Aam Aadmi Party's choice to only 50 seats or so, there is every possibility these winning seats would not have been part of it. So how does the Aam Aadmi Party make a choice? That is his point. How do you respond to something like that?
I believe that in case we had lesser number of seats being fought, then they would have more resources being deployed on those seats, and it will actually make a bigger push on those seats than like spreading it all over. Then you cannot have your like star campaigners, as I would call them, like Arvind Kejriwal or be Yogendra Yadav, or even like we had Rakhi Birla coming to Punjab. So we would have more. They would have more time to spend on those seats, and they would have more interaction with the voters on those seats, and that will actually help them to get more votes than not being able to interact with the local people because they are fighting all over the place.
All right, Sammy, you also wanted to make a point. You've been raising your hand for some time, so go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. What I was, coming to the conclusion of the whole discussion so far is that number one, which I raised a point about the vision. That a party should have a vision about it. Number one, that what it wants to do, how it wants to do, how it wants to connect, what it thinks about different type of issues which are coming up in front of them. And one of is corruption. Second is how to be transparent. Politics, and the most important thing is that how to control its own cadre. What they are coming to the media So some people were too much overreacting into the, in front of the camera. They are giving speeches and they are backtracking it. So whenever you are saying something on a camera and then you are backtracking it, it is going to be, like a boomerang everywhere. And second most important thing which I want to say, which I would like to go with Mr. Bhangar once again, that it's a new party, it's a new setup, it's a new type of your, people coming up from different type of backgrounds, and they are trying to be bringing up a revolution. So nothing to feel bad about it. It's a very good performance as far as, but on the other hand, they have to go to the roots. They have to go to the masses. They have to go to the college level. They have to go to the people and connect with them on a very grassroots level. Only then it is going to come up into some concrete positive thing in coming time. Otherwise, if they mess up, if there is confusion, if there is not a vision, the top vision coming to the grassroots level, then it is going to be very chaotic. It is going to be very much confusion, and ultimately then the result will not be as positive as we all are hoping. And on the other hand, as Mr. Inderman said, I little bit differ with Inderman, a little bit differ. I think that in the beginning, you have to you have to reach out to the people. You have to try your best launching a good
Absolutely. In
candidate.
fact, you have voices of support coming in on Twitter as well for your argument over there. Bappa Mukherjee has written in that fighting on 400 plus seats force those candidates to strike roots in those constituencies. I know a whole host of you want to come in via Google Hangout on Skype, but we're already almost running out of time. But if you in case want to tweet in your questions or responses, please go ahead and do so. Yeah, go ahead, Sammy.
Yeah. So what most important thing which I have been seeing, see, Congress handled Mr. Kejriwal so easily. They let him come in, and then they behaved in the same way they did with the Ramdev. They let the Baba come inside. They encircled him so well, and they literally, killed his whole, image and what type of threat he was posing, Baba Ramdev to. Even BJP was shaken by his personality and all that.
Right.
And the same way, Mr. Kejriwal, he literally shook the whole India. And there was, as Mr. Inderman said, yes, of course, there was a factor of incumbency over there. There was a very big factor over there. Again, people were fed up with the Akali Dal and all that. That factor again counted in Punjab, of course. But I also want to give a benefit and what I should say, credit to the people of Punjab also. Those they voted for AAP rather than to Congress or any other candidate.
All right.
But coming to the conclusion of it is that we have to have, joining up into the grassroots level. So it has to be a vision which comes from the top and it is delivered to the down. Very transparently, very cleanly, very in a black and white manner. It's not like that some leader says something else and then the other person is saying something else and then they are backtracking and the whole media chaos. So these type of things shouldn't happen in future.
All right, fair enough. I think a lot to do with that 49-day experiment in Delhi went backfired for the Aam Aadmi Party, and there is a lot of stock taking that needs to be done. Mr. Subhash Rabra has been listening in very patiently. Thank you very much, Mr. Rabra, for being so patient. Go ahead, make your point.
So what I can feel is, what I could see during these days, but people, they had been moving up their own without any organizational structure at their back. That was the main thing. What I could feel was that without any organizational structure, people had been moving off their own. They had been coming to the help of the candidates. They were willing to talk to them. They were willing to contact to them, and it was just natural. And number two, help came from unexpected quarters. Those who had been associated with established political parties like Congress or SAD, they simply left those parties in order to stand in favor of them. Number three, despite the fact that the internal contradictions had been going on much, so far as the party is concerned, people had been coming off their own forgetting about what is exactly happening in the अपना party. What I personally feel is that it was a sort of mob mentality, if I can really use the word. And if this mob is not converted into a set organization, AAP is going to lose in the future. So the immediate need seems to be that the people who are associated with the AAP at this juncture, they are required to be taken care of properly and converted into a systematic organization under some particular organizational sport.
All right, fair enough. And you have a lot of nodding heads agreeing with you on that comment. We absolutely run out of time. We'll give the final word to the man of the moment, Dr. Dharamveer Gandhi, who's created history of sorts. I mean, to win in Patiala against Captain Amrinder's wife. I forgot her name.
Mrs. Harsimrat,
Yes,
Praneet Kaur. Praneet Kaur.
Praneet Kaur.
And
Yeah.
one thing more, people from different thought systems are coming into the fold of AAP.
Yeah, I mean, that's the point, that AAP is bringing a lot of people who did not, I mean, all of you from even abroad weren't really participating in the Indian political process till the AAP came along. So the credit for awareness certainly goes to AAP. But final word, Dr. Gandhi, a lot to take in, a lot to reflect on, but congratulations in the moment. Your final comments, sir.
You see, as regards AAP and Punjab is concerned, we have taken up the challenge seriously. Not only we will present a good image and philosophy of the party in the parliament, but also we will be very active in the Punjab politics also. We are going to create Vision 2017 group in Punjab. We are going to deploy a good team of intellectuals coming from universities and professionals who will bring for us a blueprint on various problems of Punjab, the agrarian problem in Punjab, youth problem in Punjab, problem of industry in Punjab, problem of farmers in Punjab, problem of other sections in Punjab, and we intend to bring out these papers on these major issues by within next 6 8 months and circulate throughout the Punjab, hold meetings in all the 12,000 villages in Punjab, have discussions with all sections of people in Punjab, and then take a call and challenge both these traditional parties on a larger scale in the coming.
All right, we seem to, yeah. All right, we seem to have lost the link with Dr. Gandhi, and in the coming time, the coming over the next 5 years is what I assume he would be saying at the end. But I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. We've absolutely run out of time. I know there's a lot more to talk about the Aam Aadmi Party, and we'll be doing that. We'll be hosting various discussions about the future of the Aam Aadmi Party. What do you think? Tweet into us, write into us, go to indiapostlive.com or go to our Facebook page or use Twitter to get in touch with us. A whole host of ways for you to get in touch with, talk about the Aam Aadmi Party and its future strategies. Thank you very much, all of you gentlemen from across the globe coming in. Thank you very much, Venkatesh Ramakrishnan, for joining us in the studio. We wrap up this conversation on this note, but of course, more conversations coming right up over here on India Post Live.